Welcome to a special episode of Almost Above Average with Chris McIntyre, where we delve into the extraordinary world of giving back and making a difference. Today, I am thrilled to sit down with the dynamic and passionate Sommer Wisher, the visionary executive director of Wake Smiles, a groundbreaking nonprofit dedicated to providing free dental care to those in need. Get ready to be inspired as we explore Sommer's unwavering commitment to transforming lives and her relentless drive to create smiles that go beyond the surface. This is an episode you won't want to miss. Please enjoy.
From higher or lower, you need to ask what photographer.
I need to get Sue in here.
Yes, I will help you set up your lighting, keep it there.
Right.
You might have to adjust a little bit for height or whatever. But she's like the perfect person to help you.
Right.
Or simply put black hair and then that knocks out your shadow.
That's smart. You're already way better than I am.
No, I'm not. I just love it. I love throwing out ideas that I don't have to actually.
And you don't have to execute, you don't have to be a part of it?
I'm really good at visualizing, like visionary stuff. I
Yeah.
just don't want to. I'm good at follow through too, but like sometimes I don't want to do it. I just tell you what I think. I just speak my mind. That's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good quality. I think if you did black, the cast of shadow would be very different, and you could actually get away with it without stressing out about lights that much.
I think that's a good idea. Originally, what I thought to do was paint my logo up there. Can I ask your opinion while you're here?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm collaborating with this creator from Oklahoma. He is an apparel merchandiser. And so we're working together. He created this outfit today. I just got it yesterday. And I'm getting mixed reviews. So what do you think? Honestly, you can hurt my feelings.
I'm not gonna hurt your feelings. Well, hold on. Turn around. Let me see something. Well, looking at the shorts, turn around. Your G is not complete on the bottom.
Oh.
Print that right. I think that
Good to know.
I love the birds. I like the flowers. I think they look like swim trunks.
They are. Well,
Okay.
it was supposed to be like a gym fit. That's what we were going for. But the material is...
Like that kind
yeah,
of
it's
material.
bathing suit material. So
Left
what you
chest
said.
looks great. I like the bird
Can you see the watermark? The dove in the background?
on your actual shirt.
Maybe it's not on the shirt. Is there one on the back?
No. I don't love this stuff on the bottom. Right here, your tramp stamp. I don't love that.
No.
I get why it's there, but I just don't love it.
Okay.
I think what would be cool. What does that say on the bottom?
It's, I don't know, promotional stuff for the Get Awful brand and probably my podcast.
So in my mind, why isn't he putting it like right here?
Yeah.
Like that's a good spot. So
Okay.
I dated recently a screen printer.
Mhm.
So like I feel like I see things the way his like eyeballs saw things.
Okay.
And like if you're printing on the bottom, people tugging my shirt, I don't like it. It makes me look down there. I don't like that.
Okay.
I like the left chest. I think the bird is awesome.
The bird.
I actually really like the shorts.
Great.
But what's the mixed reviews?
They
What's
look-
the opinion that's negative?
They're obnoxious.
They're not.
Okay.
If anything, they're like,
Maybe a little gay. I'm not gay, but I've always liked a lot of feminine things.
yeah.
So I like it.
I like a fashion moment. As much as I usually just wear black.
Mhm.
But like, I like something that stands out. That's not obnoxious. If it were like neon,
Right.
that's obnoxious.
Well, that was the first feedback that I got from my family. And so that was yesterday. And then I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go to the gym today and I'm going to put it on and see how I feel. And then I put it on. I'm like, no, that's just dope.
I think
like
it's cool. Yeah. I don't have any negative feedback except that he didn't print the G.
it. Yeah. See that now.
Good done.
Well, thank you for that. All right. So welcome to my podcast and thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming. I really appreciate it. You're kind of the initial person. I did a podcast by myself yesterday and put it out, but you're the first guest that we've had in the studio. So thank you for coming here.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
And I met you, the reason why I wanted you to be here is because I saw you speak at the Rotary Club, and the way you spoke about your program, I'll let you explain it, but the way you spoke about your program, you were so passionate. I could just tell that you really, really care about this program. And I found it fascinating. I love watching people who can speak passionately about anything. But I was really struck by your passion. So you are the executive director of Wake Smiles.
Yes.
Right? So you want to tell everyone what you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Wake Smiles is a nonprofit that operates in Wake County, Raleigh, North Carolina. We've been around 23 years, and our mission is to improve lives of under-resourced adults through better oral health. And so we get the privilege to provide no-cost dental care to those that are under-resourced. So most of our patients have never had access to dental care. They're completely uninsured, and they live at 250% under the federal poverty level. So An average would be like a family of 4 is living off of under 50K a year.
How do they even do that?
Well, you can't.
Right. So you said no cost dental care.
Yeah.
Someone's got to pay for it, right? You're using real dentists, I assume.
We are a legal entity.
Okay.
We use all evidence-based care. We have an amazing team. We have certified dental assistants. We have licensed dentists, licensed hygienists. We have a staff of that, but also we have a ton of volunteers that are also just as certified, coming through, providing good care. And honestly, we fundraise. We don't have any like federal support, so it's all individual donors. It's all grants that we've received. We do charge a nominal fee if patients can pay it. It's $40.
Yeah.
If they can't, we still see them.
That's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, dentistry is really expensive. If you have dental insurance, it's kind of a joke because you're not covered that much, maybe preventive, but if you've had a history of trauma or lack of access to care, that's not going to cover what you actually need.
You got a domino effect going on in your mouth if you hadn't had care in a while, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of our patients haven't in 10 plus years or ever. Many of our patients, we have the honor, it's the first time they've ever sat in a dental chair.
Man.
And they're in their 40s.
How do they hear about you? How do you get the message out there to them?
Yeah, I mean, sadly we're a secret still in the community, which we shouldn't be because we're the only nonprofit dental clinic solely focused on uninsured adults. So Wake County's massive, 1.5 million people, and we're the only place serving those individuals.
You're the only thing that I've heard that does this program.
Yeah.
Or this type of program, giving free dental care.
There's some federally qualified health centers that have a dental component, but it's a different process for sure, and they also serve insured and Medicaid patients, so ours is very different. But how do we get the word out? Our patients are coming to us through referring agencies that we partner with, so they're getting their primary care there, which is really cool because then we get to do integrative care and know all of their health history, which most people don't know this, but your mouth and body are really linked. And so,
I figured. I mean, mine's right at the top of mine. So
it really is, yeah. But insurance separated them, just like eyeballs as well. Like, you don't make a claim to your medical provider or insurance company about your dental care.
Right.
They separate.
Why was that? Why is that?
Money, I guess, like capitalism.
I don't get that. I mean, well, this happened a long time ago, since the beginning of dentistry, really.
I think it happened, I'm wrong, but I think it happened in the 50s. And it's never been brought back to the body. And what's happening, we're seeing a shift now, but the mouth and body have a bidirectional relationship. So like people that have hypertension or diabetes, even Alzheimer's is related to oral health. Mm-hmm. If you have those chronic illnesses that are not well managed, they actually impact your periodontal health, your mouth health, and vice versa. So if your mouth is untreated or you haven't had access to care, you develop periodontal disease, a very aggressive bacteria that eats your bones, it's going to affect your systemic diseases as well. And so if we work with their providers, they can get the person like at optimal health, which is really our vision. We want all of Wake County at optimal oral and physical health.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were looking into ways to expand Wake Smiles into also like, what do you call it? Physical doctor, like real other doctors, like merge the two with Wake Smiles? We do. I mean, 4 of the agencies, our key referring agencies, are those PCPs, those primary care providers. Right. And so we're like their dental component. But what's cool is we talk to each other. Yeah. So you might have a primary care provider, but they know nothing about your dental health. Right. Do they ever? Well, there's one thing that happens. So I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I had my hip replaced. So every time I go to the dentist now, I have to take a pre-med. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of linked, I guess, right? It's very linked because if they were to disrupt bacteria in your mouth, it can infect that very fragile replacement. Yeah. And because our bodies work together, they don't separate the bacteria, they travel through our bodies. And so we have this beautiful opportunity to educate patients on how their mouth really translates into their body health. And their providers are amazing. These agencies we work with, Urban Ministries of Wake County, Alliance Medical Ministries, Neighbor Health, Miriam Clinic, they work really hard to get their patients healthy, but they lack that oral health component. So that is us. Mm-hmm. We also work with shelters that work with unhomed individuals. We work with substance use recovery
facilities, which are my favorite patients.
Yeah.
Because they have no filter. Like, they're getting their stuff together, you know?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to cuss on this?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. I shouldn't for Wake Smiles. But I
Yeah.
wanted to be like, they get their shit together. They are working so hard to get their lives back on track. They're in these 2-year programs for recovery. And, you know, recovery with substance use doesn't stop after the program. It's a daily practice.
Right.
A lot of times, their mouths are displaying what they've been through. Their dentition integrity is not there. And so we get to work with them.
What is that? Dentition?
Dentition is your teeth.
Okay.
Integrity of your teeth, I
Okay.
guess. I got crazy there.
Sorry, I'm not very educated.
No, actually, the most educated person wouldn't know what that means.
Right.
No one says that. I'm sorry. So they come to us and we get to restore their mouth while they're restoring their decision making, their habit forming that they've had, their substance use. And when you see that work being done on the inside and it shows through the mouth on the outside, it's pretty magical.
Yeah, did you know, I don't know if you know this about me, a big reason for this podcast, I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic. So, yeah, 3 years ago, I'm clean, sober for 3 years.
Good.
And so part of this is I want to help that community as well. I work with Healing Transitions a lot, the people that are involved in the program, and I take them back and forth to their meetings. So seeing, you know, first seeing myself come out of it was great, but having the opportunity, like you were just talking about, being able to help them and see them grow through that, because you're right, we all get excited when we're footing, like, yeah, you know, we're on this pink cloud.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really great. I think the program that you guys are doing is incredible. What kind of fundraising? How do you do the fundraising?
Well,
What is it, like a big Met Gala?
I wish I had a Met Gala. You can wear those shorts there.
I will, 100%.
We do have one big event a year. You're welcome to come. It will be in October.
I would love to.
We have one event a year. Event planning is really time consuming, and
Right.
sometimes the ROI is not there. But for us, one event a year to bring in dental community, non-dental community, to give back to a program like Wake Smiles and have a night of fun and celebrate our wins and our impact. We do that once. Our goal this year is 100K. It's October 19th. You should come.
Okay.
We have a lot of fun things. Last year we had a free throw contest. The year before we had a TikTok dance contest. Board members in their 80s were out there.
Let's go. I will battle an 80-year-old
Right?
now. Yeah.
Oh, he killed it. He actually won the contest. He was so good. So, and he started Wake Smiles. But that, and then individual donors, we have a lot of monthly sustainers, so they give so much a month toward our, goal of raising $700,000 plus a year. I love asking people for money. I have no problem doing it because for me, this is something that is a human right. And if you have a little to give, that goes a long way.
Hook that shit up. These people need it.
Right? They really do. And the thing is, $40 to me is like a dinner. When it could translate to someone getting 3 teeth taken out because they're in such pain and there's no other option, but they got them out with that $40.
Beautiful way to look at $40.
Right, getting teeth out.
Helping someone else.
Yeah, I mean, how much do I spend so much money in a dumb way? Right? I mean, I do. Like everywhere I'm at. Yeah. Right? And so if you give a small portion, it will go a long way. And we work really, really hard at keeping our expenses down. That's one of my jobs. And I'm really proud to say that we've increased our patient numbers by like 900 individuals last year. The year before it was almost at 900. The year before that was like 700 during COVID and all that. We've increased those numbers of individuals we've seen while decreasing our expenses as far as dental supplies, because people are generous and they donate in-kind supplies. So people will give gloves and level 3 masks and lidocaine and all these things that we use every day to operate. They'll give those things, which offsets our expense.
Right, you don't gotta purchase those things.
Yeah, and like I'm frugal, great. Like I am frugal. Like I'll buy the good stuff, but I'm gonna find a deal.
You're gonna get it from Australia.
Yeah, I'll figure out a way. And honestly, we have really good community members that are providers as well, dentists, that say, hey, I have this extra equipment. What do you want? Do you need it? So a lot of in-kind support. But the grants are also a huge reason we're able to do what we do. I mean, I'm writing, like this month in May, I have 4 grants due from different foundations that are looking to fund different kind of programs. I hope ours align with them. I write them, I send a budget proposal, all this stuff. It takes a lot of time, but I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I get to write about something that matters and that I'm passionate about, and I love writing. So it's an easy thing for me to do.
Right.
But we rely on that money.
Do you guys ever not have enough after you plan your budget out? Like you get to the end of your budget and you still have patients to see?
Oh, I mean, so since 2019, we're in 2024, right?
Yeah.
We've grown every year. Patient impact has grown, revenue has grown, expenses have grown, staff has grown.
Mm-hmm.
So our momentum has been there. So we're always going for more. And you're
so you know how much you need for next year, right? When you go to the event, like after this year.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
But then in my mind, I told you, like, I'm a visionary. I'm planning. I don't want to stay the same.
We'll do the East Coast. Right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, every county in North Carolina should have a Wait Smiles. Not a Wait Smiles, but like an Orange Smiles.
Absolutely.
A Durham Smiles. Whatever. I'd love to see us replicated in other communities because dentistry is such a need. And it's such an expensive thing, and it's such an unknown territory for most. So, all that to say, I'm always thinking bigger. Yeah. So on my budget, I always want to go bigger. But that means it's more work on me. Yeah. So I just create work for myself, basically.
That's okay.
Isn't that fun? And I'm in a position now where we have enough team members where I can get in front of individuals and say, your capacity for giving $10K a year, thank you. But I think your capacity is 20. How can we get you there?
Right.
And people respond.
You're in sales.
I think it is sales, which my mom always said I could sell ice to an Eskimo.
I believe it.
So.
That's why I even asked you to be in here, because you were selling the hell out of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, when you love it, you don't feel like you're doing.
Right.
Exactly. I'm not schmoozing. I am not coaxing anyone to give. It's like if your heart is telling you to do it, you'll respond. But maybe you need me to ask.
Right. You just need a little.
Yeah. There's a saying like fundraising is an opportunity. Mm-hmm. It is not an ask. It is an opportunity. I have to create that narrative that you giving is an opportunity for you to change someone's life. And honestly, we are changing lives all the time. You should see the patients that come through and like they come back just to show us how they're doing. They end up loving the dentist. People don't love the dentist. I don't get that. Like I love the dentist. Do you love the dentist?
I do not love the dentist. I love leaving the dentist because it feels good. Clean.
I mean, you feel clean, but like I go and I'm like with the mirror watching every move. Like I love
it. That was a good move, man.
Yeah. I actually helped extract my own wisdom too. Because, I really did. It's so cool to me. Mm-hmm. But our patients come in, never ever have they had someone in their mouth. And I say this a lot. Dentistry is such a cool field. And I hope that people listening to this will understand this because maybe they'll see it differently as a patient. But bear with me. So you're a patient. You go in and you don't know the person at all, really. Right? They have PPE on. They have a mask on. You see just their eyeballs. Mm-hmm. They're all gloved up, right? And then all of a sudden you're in a prone position. You're laying back. Yeah, your mouth is wide open. You might have pain. You might have shame associated with your mouth. They're less than 18 inches from your body. They're in your personal space. Mm-hmm. And they're talking a lot, oftentimes, in a language that you don't know. Like, do you know what DO number 2 needs a DO? You don't know what that means. Right. So it's a very vulnerable position.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And what happens in dentistry is you gain, without even knowing, an instant trust with that provider.
Because they're gentle with you and they're that close to you, right?
Yeah.
So that built automatically.
You're allowing them somewhere that probably, if you're like me and I go somewhere, I'm like,
give me 5 feet, man.
Yeah. But you're allowing that professional to be involved in a very intimate space, right? And as Wake Smiles providers, and one of our values is dignity. Like we get to offer this dignity in this very trust bond, like a trust bond, mm-hmm. instantaneous trust bond, and we honor their vulnerability and we beside them, knee to knee, eye to eye, and explain everything. That's a pretty big honor.
Yeah.
Like, so you as a patient, you're like, I hate this, but what happens is...
Or I've never been here before, right? So I'm kind of scared, nervous, right?
Yeah. And then they leave, they start that way, but we build this trust, and it's meaningful and it's real. And then they leave feeling seen, heard, belonging. Like, it's more than dentistry.
It is, and that happens at every time I go. I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
But I've always liked the dentist that I've worked
Well, I'm glad you have. I mean, it's our responsibility to make that person trust us and feel safe and allow us to recommend the best treatment for them. And that all starts with that trust moment, like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're not a dentist.
I'm a hygienist.
You're a hygienist?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
UNC.
UNC? All right. Why not the dentist? Why didn't you go all the way?
Well, I was on that track. I was a week from taking the dental admissions test and I flipped out.
Yeah.
And I was close with the deans at UNC. I cried in his office for 45 minutes. Because I was like in my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm competing with 22-year-olds that make straight A's without even trying. And I'm like dying in school, making a B. And that's the best I can do in a science class, right? And I'm thinking, there's no way I'll get in. And they will. They have like straight A's that you have above 4.0. The best I could do is a 3.8. Like, you know, it's very, you get in this mindset that's fearful.
Yeah.
So.
Start talking yourself out of it?
Yeah. And then he said, why don't you talk to dental hygiene at UNC?
Yeah.
I walked across the lawn and I did that. And I thought, no way.
No.
No, I'm not doing that. And then they called me and they said if I applied, I would get in.
Nice.
And so I did. And a week later, I got in.
Do you like that?
I do. I love dental hygiene.
Are you doing it still?
I don't do clinical care anymore. I don't have time.
That's awesome.
But we have amazing hygienists at Wells, which that preventive component, like anything in life, if you prevent something, your life is going to turn out better, right? Yeah. Same with dentistry. So she's amazing, but I do once in a while get in there. I definitely clean my own teeth.
Yeah.
Any hygienist hearing me is going to be like, yeah, I clean my own, but we all know I need to get like a real cleaning. I clean my children's teeth, things like that.
That's perfect.
But we have students that rotate through, so I'll check their work and guide them, but I just don't have a lot of time.
Sounds like this landing at the executive director was a way better for everyone, better for the world than for you, right? It's
truly my perfect job.
So dental hygienist led you into being an executive director. How do you get into that? So this seems like you had the idea one day as a hygienist, and you're like, all right, I'm going to help these people. What do I got to do?
Well, my path is windy, but it actually works in my favor for this role, which is really 5 full-time positions in one. I was a pastor back in the day, and then I left ministry, went into a nonprofit world where I managed like 2,000 volunteers.
Dang.
And then while I was doing that, I was debating social work or dentistry. Decided on dentistry, went into private practice, volunteered at Wake Smiles as a licensed hygienist. And actually I had been volunteering there since like 2009, trying to get dentists to come and give time, because I knew about it. And then when my predecessor was retiring, she called me and was like, I need you to take my job. And I was like, yeah.
Done.
Like, if I don't do this now, it may pass by me, and I know I'm made for this. Like, I'm not a religious person anymore, but that component of like the desire to meet people where they are is there. That's really important at Wake Smiles. Obviously, my experience managing a lot of people and learning how to retain volunteers and how to make them give back in a way that's meaningful for them and the organization, that helps.
Yeah.
And then obviously hygiene, like knowing dentistry is very important in this work. And all of those molded into these ads are perfect for my job.
Yeah. I would, all those sets of circumstances you just described, I describe God as that. That's kind of how I ended up here through all my weird experiences, just like you described.
Really?
Yeah. Like I've learned, I don't want to talk about God the whole time, but I've come to accept all these coincidences that push me in a direction. That's what I call God now.
Yeah, a guide.
Right.
Yeah.
Just, it's really cool. So volunteers is a big part of the program. How do you go about getting volunteers? You go on a sales route? Like, you book appointments? Like fictitious
like
appointments?
Pretend that I'm a patient?
Right.
That might be a good idea.
I'm in sales too.
Okay. No, well, we've been around for 23 years. So the beauty of that is we're known in the community. And we are the charitable arm of the Raleigh-Wake County Dental Society, who has a membership. Actually, I don't know how many members. I want to say over 400 dentists in the Raleigh-Wake area.
Dang.
So I do present to them every month or every couple of months.
As a group?
Mm-hmm. They have continuing education courses and a dinner. I go and present. I give them opportunities to respond. And then we have an awesome community of sustaining volunteers. So they've been doing it longer than I ever have. And they bring their friends. And hey, colleague that's a dentist, I know you have Friday off. Come volunteer with me. Yeah. And so once that happens, I just retain them by making it awesome for them. When you're a practice owner and you're doing dentistry, you're not thinking of, I'm doing this filling. You're thinking, I got to go check my hygienist's patient. I have to make sure that bill's paid. I have to get that new part for this. Like, it's a business. You're running a business. When you come to Wake Smiles as a dentist or hygienist or whatever, there's no ownership there. You literally get to do what you love. You don't have to worry about production. You don't have to worry about your staff. You don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, nothing. Mm-hmm. You come and you give and doing what you love. You know that skill
you got? Bring that in here and do it.
Yeah, and they actually love that. Like, they love, they can come in there, leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what
I got 3 patients today, I'll knock those out. I'll go
they
out
do.
Lunch. Right.
And we accommodate what they love to do. If you love doing extractions, we're going to give you extractions. Okay. If you love doing restorative, we're going to do that. It's awesome.
So I mean, a lot of relationship building is what you're doing with these guys. Keeping them up.
Yeah, that rapport. And like, I do believe that once you're there and you meet our patients who are amazing, you want to keep coming. And actually, the people that come and give their time also donate money. Yeah. Because they see how good we are at using the resources for good.
Right. That sounds like I'm doing a show at a place at the table next weekend. Yeah. I love their business model too. That sounds amazing. Very similar. You know. Yeah. Yeah. You come in, pay half price, or pay double. I like to pay double.
Same.
Just I don't know why.
Why not?
Well, it's to help the next guy, exactly. Right? We want to buy someone lunch, but that makes me feel like that, and it sounds exactly like the dentists come in and they feel that way as well. Yeah. Man, this is cool. Let me call Tom up, get him down here.
Yeah. People tell their friends, and if they have a good experience, they keep coming back. It's just like anything. You'll keep going to a place at the table because you know what it what it does for the community, but also because it's a really good food. Yeah. I don't know.
It makes the food taste better. Like, it's already good, but when you're doing it for good reasons, like, it tastes better.
I mean, I highly recommend their Pop-Tarts.
Haven't had it yet. I'm going there on Saturday, though.
You have, just please.
Pop-Tarts?
I don't even love pastries, but their Pop-Tarts and their huevos rancheros are the
I get that every time.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. Usually get that and a side of biscuits and gravy.
Oh, a side of a whole other meal?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I get really hungry.
They have great food. But their model, Maggie Kane, has done a great job at being that face of like, hey, we got to treat people with dignity. We're actually doing a joint event with them in June for their food truck rodeo where we can offer services to people there because we're serving the same population. And often those people that are coming and utilizing and the services that A Place at the Table or other community agencies have, they need care. Right. So the nonprofit community in Raleigh is amazing. We all talk to each other. We all want the best for each other. Yeah. And those agencies, we're interlocked and we're making a difference in this world. Right. All in our own little way, but collectively, we're helping a whole human become whole again.
Right. Absolutely. And I love that. I'm trying to get into that field. So now that you know me, if you think of any way you can use the podcast or the content that I create for good, let me know. I'm open to all of it.
We already have ideas, so get ready.
Let's go. Same with Joe, the people that I'm meeting at Rotary and you, it's just been incredible. I love the way this community is really showing me that they really care about everyone.
We do, and the thing is, we have to get that out because look at the news. There's so much darkness, there's so much pain, there's so much hurt, there's so much stress. And we need to remember there's light within that darkness. And we're doing it every day. And people feel it and they feel loved, they feel seen. And it's crazy that can happen over a biscuit. Or for us.
Over teeth
getting for us, over extractions.
No one would ever think of that. That's such an intimate, the way you describe it. Mm-hmm. It happens to all of us, but we never think of it like that. I'm sure, like, hurry up.
I'm sick of this. We had a client, and she still is an amazing human, but she was sheltered at Salvation Army. She worked through their program. She had past drug addiction, so her mouth was not great. She was 26, needed full mouth extractions. Well, losing all of your teeth at 26 is pretty traumatic to process. She was also a mom, working multiple jobs. To be out of commission for full mouth extractions really wasn't an option for her. And we didn't have a solution after. A traditional denture, do you want that at 26? If you don't have to, what are we going to do? She graduated through Salvation Army's program. She's killing it. She's working, has stable housing. Her daughter's doing great. She had another baby. I had a specialist, a prosthodontist, they make dentures, reach out and said, hey, I really want to do a really cool case. We got implants donated. We want to do something called a zirconia denture, which is like fancy pants denture.
Like fake diamond dentures?
It's the material's so strong and it's heavy, and it's just top of the line denture. We want to do this case, and we want it with someone who just really needs a leg up. And I was like, it's her. So I call her. She's still doing well. She committed. She got all of her teeth extracted, the remnants of her teeth, got full upper implants, lower implants, these dentures. I got to go to her final delivery of the case. It's truly life-changing for her. She's 28 now. Beautiful soul, beautiful woman. These teeth look, I mean, they're nicer than my teeth. Like, they're so nice. That whole process.
The confidence that gives someone.
Oh, it's changing her life. Like, she couldn't even audibly say how she felt.
She's always like covering her mouth.
Oh, right? I had never seen her smile. She was always like this. And even when she got the dentures delivered, she was like, no, put that hand down.
You gotta train that habit back.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It is. In that case, that doctor is NC prosthodontic and implant specialist. So Dr. Anthony Gregg did that case. It was a $57,000 donation.
Jeez. One person did that?
Yep. His practice, he got it all worked out. His team's amazing. They're all like cheering for her at the end, holding her baby.
Make a big event out of it, like.
Oh yeah. We had pictures. We had to see that literal transformation within seconds of her, and like the posture change, the confidence change. I still talk to her all the time. It changed her entire life.
Sommer, you have something like that come up again where you're doing something like that. Let me come make a piece of content with it.
I would love that.
That would be awesome.
We have it so much, so I'll let you know.
For sure. I'd love to do some content pieces around Wake Smiles. I'm always looking for ideas of what to do.
Yeah.
Versus not just me all the time.
Well, and it goes back to like sharing the good, because again, there is light within this crazy world. We need to share these stories and let people know that truly, and this is like, I am a psychotic optimist, but truly anything's possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know that. You're in recovery. You left something that maybe at one point you never thought you could.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And so anything's possible. And we need to show the world that. And we're doing that through dentistry.
Who'd have thought?
I know.
I never would have thought that.
I know.
I'm trying to do that through podcasting and music. So
I think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it through anything, really. Now that you're talking about dentistry and it's happening, I'm sure there's a million ways to do it.
Yeah, it's all about your intention, right?
Yeah, so your vision is huge.
Mm-hmm.
How does Wake Smiles expand into Durham and into other places?
I think we have a few things to sort out capacity-wise at our current location. We're trying to expand within Salvation Army, and I'm trying to raise $500K to do that. Then we can reach more individuals, because we only have 4 operatories and a lot more people need care than we have seats for, right?
Okay.
So we're expanding there. Once that is streamlined, and we're helping urgent care as well, urgent cases, walk-ins, things like that, I think we go to community leaders. Just like we have these community leaders here in Raleigh, Wake County, we go to other counties and say, who are your leaders? Who are your social service providers? What's missing? Right. And I mean, we are part of the North Carolina Association of Free and Charitable Clinics. That's a mouthful. But our region, Region 6, has several clinics, and we're all integrated. We'll serve those patients in dental care as well. Mm-hmm. Because it's important for those regions to be united to give care to those individuals. So it doesn't matter. Like, we have one in Durham, they send 2 patients a month, maybe, if they need help.
Okay.
They don't have a dental option in Durham.
Yeah. So if someone was in Durham, someone that's, I don't know, in a field like you right now, mm-hmm. and they hear this, could they just reach out, like, I want to start this in Durham right now?
Yeah, I would love to help someone start that.
I wonder if that would be an easy way to expand, just trying to reach out, not really reaching out, like, hey, it's open. If you got, you're hearing this and you like what you hear, start it in your community. Give me a call and we can tell you how we did it.
I am always welcome people that want to learn, and I'm always asking questions to learn more myself. We have to change as a state how we fund services. I know that dental has not been one that's been funded well. There are initiatives out right now for funding for dental and oral health care. Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to give 5 communities a lot of money to help start or expand something, right, in our state. But our state has to look at it differently. And if we had more funding available statewide, we're actually preventing problems that our tax dollars go toward. For example, Wake Smiles just in 2023 deferred $4.3 million worth of care that the ED would have assumed, the emergency department would have assumed.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Isn't that crazy? So
yeah.
So every county has this problem.
Right.
Every county has deference that they could offer to the emergency departments that are overworked. They don't have definitive solutions for dental care. They give you an antibiotic. They might take a CT scan to say that you have an abscess, and that's $1,600 that you don't have.
Yeah.
That for a diagnosis, when we could send you to a dentist, have it covered, and you have problem solved, you get that tooth taken care of. We have to change the landscape of dentistry and oral health in the state and get more funding for counties to really succeed. My thought is you can have a bunch of individual donors and people should give towards it. You should have foundations that will give, but I think our state, beautiful North Carolina, which I love so much, and our counties and our cities, they should be allocating funds toward that because it actually makes healthier constituents,
right,
which is what you want if you want your community to grow.
Yeah.
That's what I think. How we do that, I don't know because I'm not a politician.
Well, I'm working on it.
Okay.
That's my plan for the 50s.
Okay, you just gotta get there.
Yeah.
That's like 20 years away or so, 30?
Thanks. Yeah, about 40 years. No, I'm 42. 41? 41.
Mm-hmm.
No, my business plan is get this going, make it monetize, make it successful, give it to my kids, run for, I don't know, Senate, Congress, something. I want to run for something where I can affect change.
Yeah, I think on a local level, we start there. And I mean, I will say our communities are doing good. We have people in seats that they're making change. People get into that because they want to do better for the world.
Right.
We have to keep that narrative and we have to focus it on not just, housing is a big issue. We need more housing. People should not be unhomed.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen. Food insecurity. People should not go hungry. But also healthcare. There shouldn't be a world that exists where people can't get pain resolved.
Yeah, right.
And unfortunately, that is the world we're in. So if we change the funding model and the state changed how money was allocated, or counties did, or cities did, we would have these sustainable clinics. Running a dental practice is really expensive. This is why, when I go to the dentist, I know exactly how much what they're doing is costing them. Yeah. So no longer do I feel guilty or feel like, I have to pay this much for my teeth, whatever. Because I know, because I'm on the admin side now, right? So run a nonprofit dental clinic where you're not making revenue to pay your staff, you're finding revenue.
Yeah.
That funding that we get from individuals is great, but wouldn't it be cool if our state and our government said,
we're going to allot this much.
You never have to worry about this. This is how much you're going to have each year.
So that's something we need to lobby the politicians.
So become a lobbyist real quick.
Yeah.
And we actually have a lobbyist team that's working for at Wake Smiles right now for pro bono, and they're amazing and guideline strategies, and they're advocating for us to get allocation from a state budget and a city funding. We need to do more.
Yeah. And you're coming at this from a lot of angles.
Oh yeah,
Do you guys have enough volunteers?
I would never say you have enough volunteers.
Yeah.
and have a lot of clinical volunteers. We have a lot of pre-dental, those future dentists that are in college working hard to become dentists one day. Mm-hmm. We don't have a lot of expanded function volunteers, meaning I have one volunteer that loves doing video.
Yeah. That's
new this year. I don't have a volunteer grant writer. I do all of that. I don't have a volunteer marketing. That would be fantastic. No, we don't have a lot of those volunteers, but I'm always open to taking them.
Okay. You got a lot of dental volunteers.
Yeah, clinical, people love, I mean, that's what we are, right?
Right. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I ran out of words.
Well, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you flossing every day?
I am.
You are?
Because,
Oh, yeah.
Because of your talk, I bought floss that day.
I know.
It's one of those things, like every couple of years someone will mention, I'm like, oh yeah, I should be flossing.
See, people.
Yes, I would. Yes, I am every day.
Okay.
Except for today.
It's such an important, do it at night, yeah.
Yeah.
At night, it's the best time.
Okay, good.
I actually floss when I drive, which is, it's not safe.
No?
Is there a cop listening to the show while you're in
Never.
trouble?
There's no police here.
Okay.
Ever. I actually banned them
You
from
banned-
following me.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. I just, like, if no one hears anything, please just floss your teeth. It's like if you don't, it's like building a house on sand. Why would you do that?
That's interesting.
You need a strong foundation, and the only way you can access that foundation is flossing.
Okay.
So.
All right, I'm going to floss. I'm sure everyone, please floss. Summer said so. We have to do it. She is the authority in Wake County. We got to listen to her. So how do people donate to Wake Smiles?
Yeah, I mean, we have an amazing website, and there's lots of opportunities to give. We have tiers of giving. We have monthly sustainers. You can make that amount up. It doesn't have to be a set amount. You can say, oh, I'll give 50, I'll give 200 a month. We have a dental volunteer that has been giving 100 a month for a year. He came up to me the other day and said, change that to 300 a month. Because he was there giving work, doing patients, and he just felt like he needed to, which is really cool. Online is the easiest way. Obviously, our Instagram, Wake Smiles, easy to find. Our donation link is there. And then if you ever are in the area and you want to hop in and come into Wake Smiles, I love having visitors and showing them what we do. We also just got this amazing mural painted on our wall.
Nice.
It's by a local muralist, Jay Masulo, and it's like graffiti smiles. It's really cool.
Can you put me in contact with him? That's my original idea for the wall.
Yeah, I will.
Graffiti.
He's amazing. And this is what he does for a living, and he brought to life our space. And so if you're around, come visit. We'll take donations, walk-in donations anytime.
Where is Wake Smiles?
We're inside the Salvation Army, 1863 Capitol Boulevard, right across from the Greyhound bus station. You can't miss us.
Okay, are you guys on Facebook as well?
We are. Listen, I'm our social media director.
Are you?
Amongst other things. I forget about Facebook.
Okay.
Isn't that terrible? It's linked to our Instagram, and that's where I go. But yeah, we're on Facebook. It's always Wake Smiles. You can't miss it.
Okay, maybe in the show notes I'll link to Facebook, Instagram, and your website.
Yeah, would you?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Of course I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love what you're doing, Summer. I really appreciate you coming down here.
Thank you.
And talking. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I just appreciate your time, and I know that a lot of people don't understand dentistry, and they don't love it. It makes them nervous. It makes them uneasy. It makes them queasy.
Yeah.
But it's truly a privilege that most of us have when it should be a right. And since it's not a right for humans to have access to care, we have this opportunity to provide that. And if you're listening and you just are not into teeth, and I get that, maybe think of it as, I want to help my neighbor be a better whole human. It doesn't have to be about dentistry. Obviously, that's our niche, right? Mm-hmm. But it's just helping our neighbors be a full human, which every person has the right to have. There's enough that I think I'm 42, right? And I have not had this smooth path of life. I've had trauma. I've had hardships. I've had terrible things I've gone through, right? That kind of take away part of your humanity. Right. Our patients have struggled too. Some of them have walked here from other countries. Can you imagine, out of asylum? They have been through a lot, and all we're doing is offering them a piece of humanity by giving a very small amount of time or money.
It's crazy that you're improving so many lives from the teeth, from the mouth. That's a beautiful sentence. I think I'm going to use what you just said as the promotional clip for this episode.
Thank you. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
How long was that?
I don't
know. Man.
Is that plenty of time?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to see our mural? Did I show you that?
Yeah, let me see.
Look, I'm at the age where I have to do that. I just got that.
That's cool.
I got that Monday. My son's name is Finch. My daughter's name is Ruby.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that cute? Yeah. It's healing. I have that dumb, second skin. So it's see how red it is?
Yeah.
From that, what am I doing? Heral.
Mural.
So good. He actually just finished Glenwood South, and so Tucker and West, he did those things that hold up the railroad, the big concrete things. He did 2 of those, and then he's doing the Boylan Bridge downtown. He's so good. I'm glad we got him.
Maybe I'll just have him do my or just paint the name of the podcast in graffiti.
I think you meet with him, you consult. He is so creative.
He'll just take it away like, hey man, this is my vision. Paint what you want. Oh yeah, dude.
That's him. I made him take pictures so I could do a marketing thing, which I have yet to do.
That is dope.
I know. And that like, this is one of our volunteers' teeth that had a really interesting life, and he's now in dental school, a patient. That's mine. Can I get my tooth? But yeah, he's unreal. I'll just connect you with his Instagram, and then you can just message him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's really, really talented.
Yeah, that's
He
great.
taught art for like 10 years, so he has that. He knows art.
Yeah.
So like, you could talk to him about the space. Here's my ideas, and he'll be like, what about this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, creative people are always like that. They just have new ways to follow.
Oh, you said something that made me think of something. You were like, how could I get into I have an idea for you for this podcast.
Okay.
So what if you met with the nonprofit leaders or whatever energy person you're bringing in, and then you met with someone that was directly impacted by them?
That would be great.
Like, what if a
We could do a big piece or a series kind of thing. Yeah.
Or like a component of it where, like, hey, we're going to do a 4 whatever series.
Yeah.
And then because I think when you hear from the people that were impacted by the work, it's way further.
Oh yeah, that's a way better. Not that you endorse it badly. I'm just saying that's such a great endorsement from an actually affected person.
Were you there when you were there when I talked about myself. When I brought up that patient that talked, I did not prep him. I wanted him to speak from his heart. And he did just that.
He did great.
He did do great. And when people get an opportunity to share, we have a one woman that used to come. She actually worked at Healing Transitions after she graduated the program.
Nice.
Her first dental visit, I had to hold her hand. I came out of my office. She was so nervous. I held her hand through that. And it wasn't crazy invasive. It was just an exam, but she was terrified.
Yeah.
She ended up coming like 20 times. She had a lot of work that needed done. And by the end of it, she's owning it.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah. And now she's a big advocate of what we do. She's brought clients from HT to Wake Smiles, or people that she's met in the tent communities to Wake Smiles, because she knows the value. It's not just dentistry.
That's
right?
awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's the same thing with this book event I'm doing. Like the people I'm doing it with, the publishing company, Recovering Addicts,
Really?
the author that I'm promoting, Recovery from HT. That's who's doing the book. She's the main author for the book signing event, and then my company's just
When is that?
doing it next Saturday at 10 a.m.
At Place at the Table?
Yeah.
Next Saturday.
So I'm going to be playing a little bit of music. Yeah, from 10 to 12 we'll be there, and then we'll have a couple local authors in that back room at a place at the table.
Okay.
And then I'll be right outside with my guitar and my bass player just jamming out. It'll be really cool. We're going to go hand out flyers downtown tomorrow.
That's so cool. 10
Yeah.
to, what did you say?
10 to noon. I would love to see you. That'd be great.
I have my kids that day, but
Bring
they
'em.
probably think it was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're like, all they care about is dang Pop-Tarts.
All right.
Can't blame them. You have to get one.
I'm going to tomorrow.
They're so good.
We're going to talk to the director of operations and lay out the final plans for everything. It was hell trying to get a permit to play there.
Why?
Because I wanted to bring the whole band. I wanted to bring my band, and I wanted to play on the sidewalk outside, but you can't have amplified sound on the sidewalk. You can have a drum set. I didn't get that. And so I went there, I called them like maybe 4 or 5 times and got nowhere with them. I went down to the office 4 times and got nothing. I was very pushy and, just all up in their shit. Yeah. And I finally just bullied my way to the boss, like, hey man, this is what I want to do. What can you do? And they're like, we can't do it, man. Sorry. We tried to tell you. Yeah, like we tried to tell you that 9 times. Like, all right.
Like, well, I had to hear it 9 times first.
Yeah, that's what I know.
You don't know unless you ask.
Right.
Right?
And I was trying to think of little ways. What if I put the amp inside the door? Can I play it like that? And then I even asked the restaurant across the street if we could play in their atrium that they have right there. And they're probably going to say yes, but we had some drama with the band, so I'm just going to play it by myself.
Just play it by yourself.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe. It's more intimate.
Right.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
And I think people will just appreciate having something
Right.
there.
And you've been there, the vibe.
Please try
Is that
again.
you or me?
Did someone say, "Hey Siri" or something?
No, Siri loves my voice. My phone does it all the time.
It was you.
It's like they're just waiting on me to talk. That's cool. I'll try to come. That would,
Yeah.
I don't know why I wouldn't be able to come.
I would really appreciate that. And like totally, if you have any ideas, anything you want to use my company for, by
Just
all
let
means,
you know.
let me know. We'll get in here and record it, and I'll put it out to the world.
I will. I love that. I told you I want to do podcasting so bad. I think that the sound engineering of it,
Mhm.
sure, I did dabble in some, but then I just don't have time. I don't have the time. Unless I'm going to do it awesome, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My strategy is do it as best as you can, put it out.
The more you're going to learn, you're
Yeah.
getting more feedback, right? And
Yeah.
How did you choose the name? I'm curious.
Almost above average. The other podcast I have is called Partially Intelligent. So
You really think a lot of yourself, huh?
well, no, it's almost above average is the phrase doesn't make sense. I like things that are a little bit wrong. It sounds cool, but someone's gonna be like, "What? That doesn't really make sense." Almost above average doesn't really so normal, or what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's kind of confusing. That's why I picked it. I like things that are just a little bit wrong or have something wrong with it. Like for my content, there's always something in every piece that is not perfect. It's a flaw. And over the years, trying to be a perfectionist, I would try to get it out, but it just never happened. Or it's just me criticizing myself too much. But now I've gotten to a process where I see the thing that isn't perfect, I just leave it in there now.
So it's not so much that you think the people you're interviewing are almost above average.
No.
Hey, this is me. This is where I'm at.
Mhm.
This is what you're gonna get. I love that.
Exactly. And I've always been playing with words. I'm a rapper and a songwriter, so I just always like wordplay. Same with the guy that I'm working with here, the logo on the back.
Yeah.
Like, we've been doing this since we were kids, trying to make words out of cool, AWFL is here, but it's kind of hard to see.
Oh yeah.
And
You're
then-
basically into metal because that's what. If you look at
Right.
logos of metal bands,
Yeah.
it's insane. You're like, that is
Right.
not a word. But then it's like, word.
Oh, I'll show you something cool too. In this, me and this dude, we're working on
That's
concepts.
such a humongous screen.
Yeah, it is.
I need that for work.
So this is something I'm working on, but so the concept, this
Oh
says,
my gosh, that's metal.
yeah, this says vilified, and then
I see it.
verified. So I'm working on a piece.
Wait, it says vilified first?
Yeah, vilified, verified.
Oh my
It's
god.
almost like an anagram,
Yeah.
but you know.
See, so I follow this dude on Instagram
Mhm.
who he translates metal logos. Like
Really?
metal, yeah, it's so funny. He's like, and if you follow this unknown path that doesn't make any sense, there's an E. And he's such a smartass. It's so funny. I should send you his Instagram too because like I only listen to metal when I lift. I'm not like metalhead. But it does crack me up to see the logos. You're like, that does not say incantation or blood incantation. It says
Right.
not that.
Yeah, I don't.
It's so funny, but that's cool. I love that.
I like the concept. What we're kind of working on is I'm an underdog. Like, for 38 years, I was just a piece of shit. I was a drug addict, alcoholic, I robbed, cheat, steal. It was just horrible, horrible. And so now I'm not that. I'm trying to be a normal person. And so that the
I
vilified
do.
to verified kind of thing. So once we were vilified, and now we're like, the verified part is kind of like a phoenix rising from the ashes kind of
Yeah.
thing. And so the next set that we're working on, it's gonna have a black crow representing the vilified, and the white dove representing the verified thing. So yeah,
Did
some
you
cool
go to
stuff.
therapy?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever heard of the angry therapist? It's a dude that works with dudes.
Really?
And he was like a big piece of shit.
Okay.
And that's what got him into therapy, is like doing therapy. Because he was the guy that's like, how do you think I'm... And was like what you just said. And his stuff is so raw. He's like, nah, dude. Like,
No.
nah. And I'm not a man, obviously, and I've been through therapy, but I was never a piece of shit. I think I've probably been a jerk sometimes, a brat for sure.
Yeah.
But when you would probably love his stuff, because I'm
Definitely.
sure you could, I have a lot of stuff to send you.
Yeah.
You'd probably relate to you, or
Definitely.
and then be like, oh, I've come, like, that's so cool.
And I'm trying to interview these people. I'm reaching out to a lot of creators that kind of jive with my message, This morning we were in the steam room. This big dude came in there and we just started chatting. And he was talking about his TikToks. I'm like, what's your thing? And he sent it to me and he's like explaining his life. He's like, man, I've just been sick of, I used to weigh like 600 pounds or something like that. Big boy. And, he's been going to the gym. He's on this mission.
So cool.
Yeah. And I love that comeback story. I want to capture as many of those as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, those are amazing. I mean, they're really motivating. I love mentors for that reason. Like,
and the vilified to verified thing matches that. So I can there's so much content I have to make.
My first podcast concept was called Floss,
Mm-hmm.
and it was, so when you floss with floss, you're removing this angry bacteria from your mouth and actually creating a great space of health, right? So in life,
I didn't know that. It's not that obvious.
Yeah, it's not to remove food. It's not. It's to remove the shit that breaks your mouth down.
Okay.
But in life, when we have people that have flossed shit out of their lives, and then the outcome is always better. And so that was my concept.
That's beautiful.
Of like, my mom was going to be my first guest because she went through a lot, and she had to do a lot of work to get okay, not great, okay.
Yeah.
And it was like, that took her intentionally moving stuff out of her life, flossing it out of her life. Isn't that cute? And so, but the wordplay.
She had to clean the cracks out of her life.
Exactly. The wordplay is people hear floss and they think it's an oral health podcast. No, I have no interest in that. I want to talk about people's lives.
Yeah, you were trying to equate those things.
It
right?
is, and
Beautiful.
it is symbolic, and also like we need to hear those stories because we all have shit in our lives that we can improve if we choose to do it.
100%.
And like, I don't know about you, but getting over 40, I'm like, I have one chance at life. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm sick of wasting my time on idiots, on myself, on saying I'm going to do this and not doing it. I'm done. It's time.
That's exactly where I am. And I feel like I wasted so much of my life not doing what I want, what I really want, that I don't have enough time in a day anymore to get all this stuff done. So I was at the studio yesterday. I went home early, but the other day I left at 6 a.m. and I was in the studio all day long. I didn't get home till 11. I took like an hour break. There's some downloading and uploading time that I take a break. And I loved the whole day. I was like, this is exactly what I want to be doing with my life.
Well, are you doing this full time or you have a job?
No, I have a job. I sell roofs.
I mean, this is a job.
It's going to be. This is going to cover expenses eventually. But right now,
it's a passion project where you're trying to get it to be sustaining.
Exactly.
That's cool.
So for now, selling roofs funds this.
And when you get to do your schedule.
Yeah, I can. So after this, my plan is I'm going to hit upload on all the things. So while it's uploaded, I'm going to go try to sign contracts. Hopefully sign a couple contracts, come back, edit, get all that done, and I'll try to get it out by tomorrow. It takes a long time to edit and post
That's
all
pretty
this stuff.
cool. No, it does, yeah.
But I'm streamlining the process now. Like I have, when I'm done with this, when I go compile it, like I'm going to hit upload on all of this and then leave. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to load it all into my software, edit it, add the intros and outros and all that stuff. And then I'm going to upload that again. It's going to take like an hour.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to take that same thing and find the cool parts in that clip and make 3 like TikToks out of it. Yeah. And blast that out to the world.
That's cool.
But it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. I mean, I know it does. And even like the sitting time was like, oh, okay, I'll wait. Yeah. Yeah, I hate that. That's so, I wish you best of luck. Like you obviously have a natural ability to talk to people, which is huge for something. Right. And if you're not vibing, it's like really awkward. But I think you'll do a good job. Well, thank you. And as time goes on, you can frame it. Like I know that having consistency in that, like I listen to podcasts all the time.
Me too.
Like I'm obsessed with them. So I know that there's always a format that you have to, almost like a storyboard that you're following. And like eventually you'll find your flow. Yeah. The more and more you do, you'll like this. You'll be like, ew, I don't like that anymore.
I'll get some feedback from, hey, when you said that, it was kind of, that's a good, I did a whole episode yesterday of myself telling my story because I got some.
I was going to ask if you have interviewed yourself.
I did. Well, I don't know if it was an interview. Check it out when you have a chance.
Yeah.
Because no one's seen it yet. But I got some good feedback. It was from Sue. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I like the podcast. And she just had a lot of really constructive things to say.
She's so creative.
She is. And, I'm glad I'm in a place now when I was drunk, I wouldn't be able to, if you criticize me, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like,
Yeah.
but now, like, it still hurt and it hurt my feelings. So for a day, I was just like, it's fine, it's good. And then I really thought about it, like, you know, she had a point. No one really knows why I'm doing this.
Well, and no one, if they didn't want you to succeed, they wouldn't give you
100%. And I knew that, you know, like,
because especially her, I feel like she's such a good person.
oh, she's great.
Yeah,
We're establishing like a really good relationship
yeah.
from me knocking on a door. And that's another way that God works in my life. Like,
Mhm.
how I ended up in a room with you is because of her.
Yeah.
And because I was just knocking on doors one day. And I'm in this space to be looking for opportunities all the time. I'm
Yeah.
always trying to create them, find them.
Yeah.
So it's great. If you
Yeah.
want to do the podcast, I will record and produce it for you for free.
For real?
Yeah.
I should try it. It
Yeah.
makes me terrified.
You just did one? Shit.
Well, here's what I have noticed. That the podcasts I like to listen to, there's always a banter with
Yes.
someone else.
Mhm.
You have to have a rhythm,
Yeah.
a flow. And I think on my own, I probably won't be as good as I would with someone else. The other podcast concept is called Banter Dash, and it's with my friend Grayman, who is like the funniest person that I know. And together we're like so funny. But we couldn't nail down a concept, and his wife is like trying to find it with us. She's a creative too. She's an artist in Raleigh, and like, but we just never could nail it down.
Yeah.
And we have this like ever flowing document with ideas.
Idea board.
Yeah. But then like I know what I want to do. I just have to do it. It was supposed to be done before I hit 40. And then like my first time like working with the sound equipment that I had bought for it, which was just like a Roku, what's the name of that?
Roku?
No, maybe it is Roku. That's a TV thing. It's a really nice microphone. I think it starts with an R. It's like a lapel, but I got it so it would work with my phone because I didn't have this kind of stuff.
Right.
And so I just shared a little bit about my own stuff to hear my sound quality and stuff.
Like a vlog kind of thing?
Kind of, but only for me. No one ever has heard it, and they never will. But
Let me get that.
right. But like it was right before. It was when like I was married and my husband, when my son was 8 months old. Basically, it was like I was lying during our vows. I've never loved you. Like really sad stuff. And I didn't even know till I practiced recording that I was still hurting from that, and that was like years later. And that's what I was like, I've got to do this before I hit 40, and I have to leave that marriage before I hit 40. And I did, but I didn't do the podcast.
1 for 2 isn't horrible.
Yeah, 1 for 2 is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think. So it just taught me a lot, just like preparing it, and I like worked through some of my own shit.
Mhm.
So I just needed to do it.
So I'll give you some of my story about podcasting. So I've been trying to do this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And coming up with the concept was so, like, I have the concepts of what I wanted to do, and I want to create that. Like you said, I have a good dynamic, a hilarious dynamic with 2 of my friends
Mm-hmm.
when we're, like, out in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We come, hit record on a camera and audio, and then that dynamic, like, almost disappears because now something new is introduced where we're on camera now, like, okay, now we got to act a different way.
Yeah.
So it's been hard for me to recreate our dynamic on the podcast. So I'm still working on that. It's very hard. I have a lot of trouble getting the other person on a schedule, trying to get the other person, working with somebody else's schedule has been very difficult.
Well, that's hard in life anyway.
Yeah,
Like
it
just arranging to hang out with friends sometimes it's difficult.
Yeah.
So
Right.
then yeah, I could see that. And if it's not like their priority, it's not gonna be.
Yeah, and then I feel like I'm being pushy, like, hey man, can we record today? You busy? Like,
Mhm.
dude, I've got my kids. I'll just do it by myself.
Yeah. Well, I think you'll figure it out. Like you.
Yeah, it's the that's what I was trying to say, is that like we recorded maybe like 10, 15 episodes, me and both of my friends. They all suck. But what I got to a point where we couldn't nail the concepts that we wrote down, like we couldn't
Yeah.
translate it.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was like, fuck it, whatever I record, I'm going to post it just to get the reps in posting, because that's a whole different process. Posting on Spotify and trying to get it to all the platforms, it took me forever to learn.
Yeah, it's not
a
fun.
process.
I like read about it and it stressed me out.
Yeah, and I hate reading to learn, so like for me, it just takes a really, really long time, because I will keep going until I'm sick of it, and then I'll walk away and then come back when I'm
Oh
fresh
yeah,
and
I
keep
will
going.
try to do it myself forever and waste a lot of time
Yep.
rather than just learning how to freaking do it.
I'm too hard-headed to do it. I probably should change that. But
Well, maybe eventually you won't even have to do that part, right?
The first one I did use a guy from Fiverr to produce the thing, and then he gave it to me, and I'm like, I can do better than that.
I think you have.
I have.
The sound quality is way better.
Yeah.
From the first, at least the one I heard, I don't know. I've listened more, but the first one I thought I liked the content. I couldn't hear it as much as I wanted to.
Okay.
But I also didn't have my headphones. Like, I wondered if my headphones were in, would I be able to hear it better? Am I distracted because there's sounds around me?
Thank you for tuning in to this impactful episode of Almost Above Average with Chris McIntyre. If you enjoyed our conversation with the remarkable Sommer Wisher and the incredible work of Wake Smiles, please consider leaving us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. Help us reach our goal of 5,000 followers by sharing this episode with a friend or family member who would appreciate our mission of spreading positivity and making a difference. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay updated on future episodes filled with inspiration and heartwarming stories. Together, we can continue to uplift and empower our community. Thank you for your support and have a wonderful day.